Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back. I hope you are having a fantastic day. If you missed it a little bit earlier, I uploaded my review of the new Pacifica Beach Day perfume, this little orange cutie right here. If you missed that review, I'll go ahead and link it in the description box right below this video. Definitely go check that out after this one if you are interested at all in this particular fragrance. I also already have a review up of the new passion fruit fragrance as well. And then I have some older videos of that include my review of Dream Moon as well as Silver Moon. Now I have not yet repurchased Dream Moon and Silver Moon because I'm still working through my original bottles from when they were in those cute little like 1 ounce square containers. So if you're not familiar, late last year Pacifica started reformulating their fragrances, especially the ones that were in the, I called it the moon phase line. It just were those cute little square bottles, right? They were 1 ounce. The fragrances retailed for, I think, around $20 to $22. I can't even remember what I paid for them, but they were such a great product for the price point. And when I thought that they were just discontinuing fragrances altogether, like I really didn't know whether they were discontinuing or whether they were reformulating them. Thankfully, they were reformulating them. But I was really bummed about the fact that, man, these were such great scents and I would be so sad if they didn't come back. So good news is a couple of our favorites are definitely back. Let me tell you guys what fragrances are actually in the collection as of right now. So we have the Dream Moon that is back, as well as the Silver Moon. The Beach Day is new. Montana Sky is new. The Indian Coconut Nectar. Now that has been a fragrance that has been in the Pacifica lineup for quite some time. I actually remember buying that a very long time ago in just like a small travel size. I didn't like that particular coconut scent. It's actually one of the few coconut scents that I never really loved. The Island Vanilla. Now I have Island Vanilla in this packaging here from Pacifica. So anyway, this is just a 1 ounce size. It's different from the little square bottles that they used to have, but yeah, I pulled this one out because I had this in my collection for a little while. I don't think I ever reviewed this, but I'm almost done with it, so I should still put a review of that up. But the Island Vanilla is in the new packaging, as is the Passion Fruit fragrance as well. And then everything is also available in hair and body mist format as well. So if you are more of a body mist kind of person, maybe check that out. But if you are looking for a perfume, that's what these guys are here. So, and these retail for $27. So let's go ahead and read through the description for Montana Sky. Admittedly, out of the 3 newer scents, this one is definitely my least favorite, I would say. This just has a lot of earthiness to it. It's also a little bit of a slightly spicy fragrance. So let's go ahead and read through their description here, and then we'll do the fragrance notes. I'll tell you what I pick up predominantly with my nose, and we'll talk about the overall kind of strength, the projection, things like that. Okay, so Montana Sky Perfume is an airy unisex centering blend that brings the crisp scent of sky, cedarwood, elderflower, earthy sage, and pepper in natural grain alcohol. So our fragrance notes are, for the top we have black pepper, petitgrain, and elderflower. In the middle we have cumin, olibanum, which is actually just frankincense, I believe. There's cedarwood as well as sage. The bottom notes are sandalwood, vetiver, and cypress. So what does this smell like? Okay, first of all, I have already like sprayed it on my arm, so I'm not gonna do another spritz just on me, but I will show you just a spritz into the air here. This one's just really quite potent. And so I feel like you can kind of go overboard with this one a little bit, so I didn't want to put any more on my skin. But this has now been sitting on my skin for at least 5 minutes, so I feel like it's like settled in really nicely. There is a definite spice to this one that is very like noticeable from the get-go. And I think it's from the black pepper and that like petitgrain note in here as well. It's quite peppery, and it really does smell like a true black pepper. Elderflower was kind of a strange one for me. I really actually like elderflower, but I'm not detecting anything remotely floral in this little concoction here at all. This to me is actually quite a masculine scent. I wouldn't even necessarily call it unisex. I think it smells almost like a men's cologne to my nose more than anything else. I think this would actually be a great scent for my husband more so than for me. I do tend to favor sweeter scents. Sometimes I can do something a little bit different, you know, like the Beach Day, which has a lot of freshness to it. But the super masculine scents I kind of struggle with a little bit. So if you don't like a very masculine fragrance, I'm not sure the Montana Sky is going to be one for you. In terms of the middle notes, I actually do pick up a little bit of the cumin in here. It's kind of interesting, because it really does smell like the cumin that I have in my spice cupboard. The frankincense, I do get a touch of that frankincense in here as well. I don't think it's too overpowering. I think it's kind of just like a nice little interesting touch. And again, to my nose, that adds quite a bit of like earthiness and masculinity to the fragrance. Cedarwood, yes, absolutely. There is a healthy dose of cedarwood in here, as well as that sage. This is a really interesting blend of different spices, I feel like. It's quite spicy and woody for sure. Sandalwood, yes, I also detect some sandalwood in here. Vetiver, not really, but again, cypress, yes, I smell cypress in here. It's very woody, very kind of earthy, very spicy. It's a very different type of fragrance for sure. I don't think I've smelled anything quite like this before. It's not in my wheelhouse. This isn't something that I personally would repurchase in the future. But I think it was definitely very interesting to try. I was very curious about how this blend would come together, just checking out the fragrance notes prior to actually getting this and being able to stick my nose in it. It's so masculine. It's a really kind of masculine fragrance, and I do personally prefer things that are maybe a little bit more towards the unisex end of the spectrum, whereas I think this is just like a borderline, almost cologne type of fragrance to my nose. So there is a market for that. Just because I don't really particularly care for this one, it doesn't mean that you won't. Just know that this is very spicy, it's very woody, and it definitely leans more towards, like, I would say like a cologne type of vibe than anything else. So that being said, in terms of the overall projection of this fragrance, like the strength of it, I think it's quite potent, but I will say I have found the lasting power of these new, or these repackages and new fragrances. Obviously they added a few new fragrances here, but I'm finding the overall just like lasting power strength to be a little bit less than what it was before. I do think that these lasted better back in the day, but that being said, I still think for the price point, you're getting a really great complex fragrance that has decent lasting power. I would say somewhere into definitely by 4 hours, I need to reapply these, but I don't know. I still think for under $30 for 2 ounces of a really great fragrance, it's still worth it to me, but you have to decide whether that's worth it for you. Anyway, I would love to know if you have tested out Montana Sky and what your thoughts are. I think this is one of the ones where I would definitely say if you are unsure about it, see if you can head into a store like either Target or maybe even Ulta and see if they have testers of these out. It's definitely one that I think is worth smelling prior to picking up if you are at all iffy about the notes. This one, I'm a little bit more apt to say, yeah, I think you should definitely try it. Like if you like a kind of beachy, fun, touch of leather type fragrance, this one I would say go for it. But this one, I'm a little more hesitant to be like, yeah, go, run, get it. So anyway, all that being said, I now have reviewed all 3 of the new fragrances, and then at some point, I guess I should finally review this. Yeah, I've had this for such a long time. This is a great blender fragrance, by the way, and the Island Vanilla has been repackaged in this new lineup, so you can get 2 ounces of it for now. If you are looking, let's see if that sweetens this one up just a touch. That might actually be a way for me to make the Montana Sky a little more enjoyable. Oh, I kind of like that. That works. Okay, if you have both, try them together. It just adds some sweetness to this very masculine scent, and it's a very interesting result. Oh, you gotta try that. Listen, if you have both of these, put them together and let me know what you think. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys so much. Check out the description box for all the links, and let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.